Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start the second chapter, which is role of the government in health. In a democracy, people expect the government to work for their welfare. This could be through the provision of education, health, employment, housing, or the development of roads, electricity, etc. In this chapter, we shall examine the meaning and problems related to health. Look at the subheading of this chapter. In what way do you think this topic is related to the work of government? So, what is health? We can think of health in many ways. Health means our ability to remain free from illness and injuries, but health isn't only about disease. You may have associated only some of the situation in the above collage with health. What we often ignore is the fact that each of these above situations is related to health. Apart from disease, we need to think of other factors that affect our health. Example, if people get clean drinking water or pollution free environment, they are likely to be healthy. So if people get good water and pollution free air, so they will be healthy. On the other hand, if people do not get adequate food to eat or have to live in cramped condition, they will be prone to illness. All of us would like to be active and is in good spirits. In whatever we may be doing, it isn't healthy to be dull, inactive, anxious, or scared for long stretches of time. We all need to be without mental strain. All these various aspects of our lives are part of health. Healthcare in India. Let us examine some of the aspects of healthcare in India. Compare and contrast the situation expressed in the first and second column. So India has the largest number of medical colleges in the world and is among the largest producer of doctors. Approximately more than 30,000 new doctors qualify every year. Most doctors settle in urban areas. People in rural areas have to travel long distances to reach a doctor. The number of doctors with respect to the population much less in rural area. So in rural area there are very little doctor, but in contrast in first column there are 30,000 new doctors qualify every year, and India is the largest producer of doctors. Healthcare facilities have grown substantially over the years. In 1950, there were 2,717 government hospitals in India. In 1991, there were 11,174 hospitals. In 2017, the number grew to 23,583. About 5 lakh people die from tuberculosis every year. This number is almost unchanged since independence. Almost 2 million cases of malaria are reported every year, and this number isn't decreasing. So these are the numbers. People are dying every year. In India, get a large number of medical tourists from many countries. They come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India that compare with the best in the world. We are not able to provide clean drinking water to all. 21% of all communicable diseases are waterborne. For example, diarrhea, worms, hepatitis, etc. In India, India is the third largest producer of medicine in the world and is also a large exporter of medicines. In the second column, half of all children in India do not get adequate food to eat and are undernourished. So, in order to prevent and treat illnesses, we need appropriate healthcare facilities such as health centers, hospitals, laboratories for testing, ambulance services, blood banks, etc. that can provide the required care and services that patient need. In order to run such facilities, we need health workers, nurses, qualified doctors, and other health professionals who can advise, diagnose, and treat illnesses. We also need the medicines and equipments that are necessary for treating patients. These facilities are required to take care of us. India has a large number of doctors, clinics, and hospitals. The country also has considerable experience and knowledge in running a public healthcare system. This is a system of hospitals and health centers run by government. It has the ability to look after the health of a large section of its population scattered over hundreds of thousands of villages. We will go into more detail on this later. Moreover, there has been a phenomenal advancement in medical science whereby many new technologies and treatment procedures are available in the country. However, the second column points out how poor the health situation in our country is. With all the above positive developments, we are not able to provide proper healthcare facilities to people. This is the paradox, something that is contrary to what we would expect. Our country has the money, knowledge, and people with experience, but cannot make the necessary healthcare available to all. In this chapter, we will look at some of the reasons for this. So you can see patients usually have to wait in long queues in government hospital like this one. So you can see many people are waiting outside the checkup room, Prayogshala. The story of Hakim Sheikh. Hakim Sheikh was a member of the Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti (PBKMS), an organization of educational agricultural laborers in West Bengal. One evening in 1992, he accidentally fell off a running train and suffered head injuries. He was in a very serious condition and needed immediate treatment. He was taken to a government hospital in Kolkata, but they refused to admit him because they did not have a spare bed. Another hospital did not have the facility or the specialized doctors necessary for his treatment. In the way, he spent 14 hours in critical state and was taken to 8 different government hospitals, but none of them admitted him. Finally, he was admitted in a private hospital where he received treatment. He spent a lot of money on his treatment. Angry and upset over the indifferent attitude of all the hospitals that refused to admit him, Hakim Sheikh and PBKMS filed a case in the court. So they filed a case in the court. So the cost of a cure. Aman and Ranjan are good friends. While Ranjan came from a well-to-do family, Aman's parents has to struggle to make ends meet. Hi Aman, good to see you back. How have you been? So Ranjan is saying hi to Aman. I had viral fever and had to go to the hospital. Aman said, oh me too. I just got back to school on Monday. My daddy took me to see the doctor at the new hospital in Kingsway. It was very exciting. The building looked so posh. I thought it was a 5-star hotel. Daddy said that was because it is a private hospital and with the best facilities. Daddy had to pay rupees 500 at the reception counter itself before we even met the doctor. There was nice music playing and everything was really clean and shiny. The doctor asked for many tests, but everyone was so friendly. The lady who took my blood for testing told me so many jokes that I forgot to feel the pain. And so the lady said, and have you heard the one about Batman on reality TV? After the test results came, we went back to the doctor. He looked through them and said everything was fine and I only had a viral fever. He prescribed some medicine and rest. And so young man, the doctor said, this pink pill should be taken 3 times a day and the white tablet once before bed at time. That's for the body ache. This one is a syrup. Don't worry, it's tasty. Aman said, thank you doctor. I feel better already. You see, I have been dying to tell you all about it. But what about you? Which hospital did you go to? It wasn't as nice as yours at all. At first, Abba didn't want to take me because he said it would take too much time. And it really did. We went to a big government hospital. We had to wait in a long queue at the OPD counter. I was feeling so sick that I had to lean on Abba all the time. So you can see. When our turn came, the doctor examined me and asked for blood test. Then we had to go and stand in another long queue. People were crowding around in the testing room too. So you can see the crowd. We got the test results after 3 days and went back to the hospital. There was a different doctor that day. Show me the OPD card and the result test quickly, please. He seems to be suffering from a bout of viral fever. Nothing to worry about. All he needs is this one fever reducing medicine. My hospital was nice, but they gave me many medicines and the whole thing cost quite a lot. Oh, my treatment did not cost much. Public and private healthcare services. From the above story, you must have understood that we can roughly divide up various healthcare facilities in 2 categories: public health services and private health services. So there are 2 health facilities, public and private. Public health services. The public hospital health services is a chain of health centers and hospitals run by the government. They are linked together so that they cover both rural and urban areas and can also provide treatment to all kinds of problems, from common illnesses to special services. At the village level, there are health centers where there is usually a nurse and a village health worker. They are trained in dealing with common illnesses and work under the supervision of doctor at the primary health center (PSC). Such a center covers many villages in a rural area. At the district level is the district hospital that also supervises all the health centers. Large cities have many government hospitals such as the one with where Aman was taken, and also specialized government hospitals such as the ones in Hakim Sheikh's story. So why pay taxes to the government? Government uses tax money for providing many public services for the benefit of the all citizens. Some services such as defense, police, judicial, highway, etc. benefit all citizens. Otherwise, the citizens cannot organize these services for themselves. Tax fund development programs and services such as education, healthcare, employment, social welfare, vocational training, etc. are required for needy citizens. Tax money is utilized for relief and rehabilitation. In case of natural disasters such as flood, earthquakes, tsunami, etc., space, nuclear, and missile programs are also funded from the revenues collected as taxes. Government provides some services especially for the poor who cannot afford to purchase them from the market. One example is healthcare. Can you give example? The health services is called public for many reasons. In order to fulfill its commitment of providing healthcare to all citizens, the government has established these hospitals and health centers. Also, the resources needed to run these services are obtained from the tax that we, the public, pay to the government as taxes. Hence, such facilities are meant for everyone. One of the most important aspects of the public health system is that it is meant to provide quality healthcare services either free or at low cost, so that even the poor can seek treatment. Another important function of public health is to take action to prevent the spread of diseases such as TB, malaria, jaundice, cholera, diarrhea, chikungunya, etc. This has to be organized by the government with the participation of people, otherwise it is not effective. For example, when taking up a campaign to see the mosquitoes do not breed in water coolers, rooftops, etc., this has to be done for all houses in the area. Recall the case of Hakim Sheikh. Would you like to know what the court said in this case? So you can see a doctor in the rural healthcare center giving medicine to patient. According to the constitution, it is primary duty of government to ensure the facility welfare of the people and provide healthcare facilities to all. The government must safeguard the right to life of every person. The court said that the difficulty of Hakim Sheikh has to face could have cost him his life. If a hospital cannot provide timely medical treatment to a person, it means that this protection of life is not being given. The court also said that it was the duty of the government to provide the necessary health services, including treatment in emergency situations. Hospitals and medical staff must fulfill the duty of providing the necessary treatment. Hakim Sheikh was denied treatment at various government hospitals. Therefore, the court asked the state government to give him the money that he had spent on his treatment. So that was the Hakim's case. A woman and a sick child at a government hospital. According to UNICEF, more than 1 million children die every year in India from preventable infections. So you can see the mother is sitting beside a child. Private health facilities. There is a wide range of private health facilities that exist in our country. A large number of doctors run their own private clinics. In the rural areas, one finds a registered medical practitioner, RMPs. Urban area have a large number of doctors, many of them providing specialized services. There are hospitals and nursing homes that are privately owned. There are many laboratories that do tests and offer special facilities such as X-rays, ultrasound, etc. There are also shops from where we can buy medicine. As the name suggests, private health facilities are not owned or controlled by the government. Unlike the public health services, in private facilities, patients have to pay a lot of money for every service that they use. So private healthcare is very costly. Today, the presence of private facility can be seen all around. In fact, now there are large companies that run hospitals, and some are engaged in manufacturing and selling medicines. Medical shops are found in every corner of our country. So post-operation room in a leading private hospital in Delhi. So you can see a post-operative room which is very clean. You can see that healthcare and equality is adequate healthcare available to all. In India, we face a situation where private services are increasing but public services are not. What then available to people are mainly private services. These are concentrated in urban areas. The cost of these services is rather high. Medicines are expensive. Many people cannot afford them or have to borrow money when there is an illness in the family. Some private services encourage incorrect practices to earn more. At times, inexpensive alternative, although available, may not be used. For example, some medical practitioners are found to prescribe superfluous medicines, injections, or saline when simple medication may suffice. So the Medical Council of India Code of Medical Ethics states, every physician should as far as possible prescribe drugs with generic names, and he or she shall ensure that there is a rational prescription of and use of drugs. In fact, barely 20% of the population can afford all medicines that they require during illness. Hence, even those whom one might not think as being poor, medical expenses cause hardship. It was reported in a study that 40% of people who are admitted to a hospital for some illness or injury have to borrow money or sell some of their possessions to pay for their expenses. So you can see in a rural area, jeep is often used to serve as a mobile clinic for patients. So you can see here, and here also Jan Aushadhi medical stores, Dam Kam Dawai Uttam. So it is also a low cost medicine facility. For those who are poor, every illness in the family is a cause of great anxiety and distress. What is worse is that this situation tends to happen again and again. Those who are poor are in the first place undernourished. These families are not eating as much as they should. They are not provided basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, clean surroundings, etc., and therefore are more likely to fall ill. The expenses on illness make the situation even worse. Sometimes it is not only the lack of money that prevents people from getting proper medical treatment. Women, for example, are not taken to a doctor in a prompt manner. Women's health concerns are considered to be less important than the health of a male in the family. Many tribal areas have few health centers and they do not run properly. Even private health services are not available there. The pregnant lady has to travel many kilometers to see a qualified doctor. So you can see that the husband is going in front and a woman is following to see a doctor. What can be done? There is a little doubt that the health situation of most people in our country is not good. It is the responsibility of the government to provide quality health services to all its citizens, especially the poor and the disadvantaged. However, health is as much dependent on basic amenities and social conditions of the people as it is on healthcare services. Hence, it is important to work on both in order to improve the health situation of our people, and this can be done. Look at the following example: the Kerala experience. In 1996, the Kerala government made some major changes in the state. 40% of the entire state budget was given to panchayats. They could plan and provide for their requirements. This made it possible for a village to make sure that proper planning was done for water, food, women's development and education. This meant that water supply scheme was checked, the working of schools and Anganwadis was ensured, and specific problems of the village were taken up. Health centers were also improved. All of this helped to improve the situation. Despite this effort, however, some problems such as shortage of medicine, insufficient hospital beds, not enough doctor remained, and these need to be addressed. So you can see it in www.isgkerala.gov.in. Let us look at the example of another country and its approach and its health issue. So before that, you can see the map. Here is a map in which the above map of India shows the state of Kerala in pink. So you can see Kerala is in pink. Page 111 of this book has a map of India using a pencil outline the state of Kerala on this map. So the Costa Rican approach. Costa Rica is considered to be one of the healthiest country in the Central America. The main reason for this can be found in the Costa Rican constitution. Several years ago, Costa Rica took a very important decision and decided not to have an army. This helped the Costa Rica government to spend the money that the army would have used on health, education and other basic needs of the people. The Costa Rican government believes that a country has to be healthy for its development and pay a lot of attention to health of its people. The Costa Rican government provides basic services and amenities to all Costa Ricans. For example, it provides safe drinking water, sanitation, nutrition and housing. The health education is also considered very important, and knowledge about health is an essential part of education at all levels. So it was the Costa Rican approach. So here the chapter is finished. We'll start the next chapter in the next class. Thank you.